This was like.
All right, now you're live.
Okay, so we're good. All right, we're back. Okay, so why don't we move that? If there's no questions about the reappointment, we can move then to our next item, move that to the consent agenda. And for the next item is a contract approval. And this is a bid approval.
Take it, okay.
Go ahead,
Thank
Jenny.
you, David. Yes, this is an annual bid that we do for our vehicle fuels, and we usually only get one bid received, and that's from Moravo. And you will see that we're paying a differential from the actual cost, and the prices have not changed that much from the last year's contract.
And this was included in the budget.
It's, yeah, the vehicle fuel is always included
Yep.
in the budget, yeah.
Any questions? No? Okay, then why don't we move that to our consent agenda? And we can approve that bid. Okay. Our next is a contract approval needed for another bid, and that is, there's 3 bids here for propane gas.
Yes. And again, we would like to award it to Nolan Bottle Gas, and it will be a differential plus the market rate. We have found in the past few years that the variable rate is always been lower than the fixed rate.
And that's true in this case.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions about this? Okay. Our next is another contract needed for bid approval. And that is, again, for, this is diesel?
Yeah, no, this is for different types of gas.
Different types of gas.
Yeah, these are different types of fuel sources. It'll be sulfur, diesel, kerosene, different things like that, where they get delivered to our tanks that we have. And so this is a separate bid itself. And again, Moravito was the only bid received for this service.
What do we use kerosene for?
We'll use it for generators and different things like that.
Heating during the winter.
Yeah.
Heating during the winter,
No.
kerosene doesn't gel as quick.
Oh, okay.
In the cold.
Must have dyed kerosene, I noticed.
Yeah.
Sometimes, don't they mix it?
Yeah, they'll mix
Yeah, they'll
it
mix it.
60/40.
Diesels, yeah.
Okay, any other comments, questions? We'll move that along then to the consent agenda, and our next is the, this is actually what I had questions about, or I was just hoping that somebody could talk a little bit about the evaluation for wastewater and water risk
So,
assessment.
Every 5 years, we're required by the EPA to submit a risk and resilience assessment and emergency response plan. Our risk and resilience assessment is due by June 30th of this year, and the emergency response plan is due by December 31st of this year. So it's been 5 years, and we're at a time where we need to do this. The company we've been speaking with does this on a regular basis. They are very good at what they do, and we're asking to have a contract issued to have them perform this work that's needed.
Is this budgeted already?
It is a budgeted item, except we are $6,000 over the budget. We budgeted $70,000. There's another $6,000 needed, but there is also a component to this that we hadn't originally anticipated, which is a cybersecurity review. We'd like to add that because it has been quite some time since a thorough review of our cybersecurity has been completed, so we'd like to add that as part of their work that they're going to perform.
So that's the additional 6,000, probably, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing a cyber review with one of our other contracts.
The cybersecurity, this year was the first year we got cyber insurance, if that's what you're remembering.
there's something about cybersecurity that's,
Yeah, we did this, well, we.
or did we have to go
separate-
through the state thing?
We had to do a cybersecurity internal audit ourselves that we submitted to the Department of Health recently. So is that maybe what you're thinking of?
I could-
That was related to the water treatment plant. There was also an evaluation done for our cybersecurity.
Yeah, we had the cybersecurity audit through the state controller's office. And then this also, this was the first year the council approved free cyber insurance in the '26 budget. And we also, have cybersecurity insurance for the fire department.
So the fire department has a separate,
Yes, our fire department has a separate policy.
can I ask why?
It's because it's covered under the McNeil Insurance Company, which provides cyber. We also include that in the citywide one, but that is specifically for fire, the sensitive information that they carry in their systems.
Seems a little
Seems to be a hot topic for the state at all levels, the cybersecurity.
Yeah,
It just seems
resources
like-
being channeled to,
Right,
on a local level.
yes.
Huh.
Yeah, well, I fought hard for the cyber insurance, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think it sounds like interesting, okay. So, so I just want to clarify what we've received in our packet. So we have a contract approval for Launch Consulting.
Yes.
So thank you to Greg or to whomever provided their brochure, which is helpful to understand in terms of what their services that they provide and what they'll be delivering. It's really interesting actually to read about the various services that they're offering, I thought. And then the second item related is the,
Budget request.
is a budget request, but then there's really nothing for the council to do at this point, is that correct? I just was curious about that.
Well, you got the extra money, where are we getting at?
Yeah, that's what I was
Well,
curious.
It says here, in the narrative that the city administrator will transfer additional funds, needed from elsewhere within the adopted water and sewer budgets. I think we need to be able to analyze it between he and I have not worked on it yet. So, we'll either taking it from the water and sewer contingencies and or, if we find another project that's coming in under budget, we'll be able to use those funds.
Okay, right. Actually, I was just curious how these two relate. The budget request form and then the supplies and the contractual details with the contract approval. So that's what I did see that it was that there'll be a transfer from additional funds.
Just a general question. If we do this, but we didn't say yes to cyber yet, but then said it later on down that we wanted to do it, is that something you can add in, or you gotta do it all in one shot?
That and that too.
It's all to be done at the same time. It's, part of the service. They're coming here, meeting with us, going over our treatment facilities, all of our infrastructure at the same time. So if they had to come back, it'll be, might likely could be an additional cost.
Additional cost. Do you think we can, I know you're not Greg, do you think we can narrow it down where we're gonna get the extra funds from before the council meeting?
I can look at that. I can look at that and I can send you an email tomorrow.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
So I think the difference between the two forms here is that this specifies where the two amounts will be coming from or what they'll be used for. I'm trying to see why we have,
The first one's the contract.
Yes.
Approving the contract.
yes.
The second one is the budget form verifying where the funds are coming from.
Okay, so then I was right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this was, supported, this, here, the budget request.
Yep.
That was in your budget.
In the
book.
packet,
It was in your
right.
budget book at the time when we were discussing the '26
Okay.
budget.
Yes, thank you.
And so what this is doing is explaining exactly what services you're going to receive.
Right, thank you. Okay. Are there any other questions questions about this?
No, I'm all right if you want to put this on consent when they give us, when it's coming through.
Yeah, I think so, because I don't, it's already been budgeted, except for
Yeah,
that small
separate
one, so,
that,
right.
What is extra 16,000?
6,000,
6,000?
yeah. And then, right, if Greg can provide that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Sure, we can move that to the consent agenda.
So far, everything involved consent.
That's right. Thank you. Okay.
You're getting easy over here.
Our next item is the equipment purchase. If I'm not mistaken. For police department.
Yep, so this is a new camera system for the police department. The existing camera system is 27 years old. It's, you know, does not do a good job of recording. It's outdated. The images are pixelated, so it's time to do an upgrade. This was a budgeted item. We had budgeted $85,000 for this item, and the actual cost, the contract amount is $80,744.84.
And the chief was saying that this is just for the public safety building.
So this is just for the police department side of the public safety building, so
Okay.
their hallways, the jail cells. It does not include any video surveillance for the fire, the fire department side or the court system. This is only OPD.
Do we need cameras for the fire department and the court system?
I don't think it's necessary. The court system has their own camera system.
Okay.
But this is doing the outside of the public safety building too, right?
Inside and out,
yes.
I think this is.
So,
It gets the back parking lot, gets the front entrance, gets where the,
Gets where the squad cars are.
The booking, yeah.
In where the squad cars are too, isn't
The
it?
squad car, that's right, where the squad cars are parked, the jail cell areas.
but you don't want one on the outside for the apparatus going out, coming back in?
I mean, there hasn't
In
been a
there.
camera system there now, and the other thing is the fire department, they're there 24/7.
Yeah.
They have a dispatcher there. It hasn't never been requested, that doesn't mean that I can't have a conversation with Brian about it.
I was just thinking if you're gonna do the outside of the building, circulate the outside of the building. You know what
There
I'm
is a
saying?
camera also, the side little roadway that goes up to the, where the police park, there is a camera there as well, but not the front of the fire department.
I'm just thinking you're gonna have that dead spot, and if the idea for the security system is to make sure that the police can see what's going on around, the fact that you do have the court and the police and all that, I don't think you wanna take out as many dead spots as you could.
Have a wide
on the
angle
outside.
lens or
Well, I do
something.
have a little extra money in the budget here, I can ask and see what it would cost to add a camera.
But I'm just asking a general question, like if that's what,
So you're talking about in the front for the fire department?
Yes.
Isn't there a street level camera on the other side that shows the front of the public safety on the other system?
Actually, you know what, you're right, there is,
Yeah.
there's a camera on the pole.
Yeah, that shows the whole front of the,
Yeah, that does.
that shows the whole front.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, so then we won't need that extra camera,
yeah,
right?
disregard that last. It's something new today.
Sorry, I forgot.
You're
about
being
that
watched
camera.
all the time.
Out of all those
I had
jumping
to think
jacks
about
I
it
did in the
too,
middle of the,
because I remember standing in there and seeing the front of the building, so.
It
Did
gets
you
Mark-
wave?
It gets the Market Street intersection, it gets the.
Yeah, it gets that whole,
Up toward Dosha, and
Yep.
the whole, yeah, that whole section.
disregard my question.
Sorry, I forgot about that one camera.
well, that's on the other system, really.
It
It's
is.
not, yeah.
It's not part of the
Building, it's part of the street.
Main Street
Right.
system, yes.
Will they be integrated?
They are, they all go to the same location where the OPD's dispatcher is,
Yeah.
so they see all the camera views, they see the transit hub views, they see Main Street views, and they see their views from inside the building at dispatch. So dispatch always has eyes on all those cameras. There's quite a few views to see.
Mhm. So just the details of the contract include this Adirondack cabling and security, and it's for 80,000, and that's already been budgeted.
That's correct.
Okay, great. So I think we should move that to the consent agenda as well, and then take a look at our purchase, and this is for Public Works, the dump truck with plow.
This was also included in the 26 budget,
Mhm.
and the budget was 85,000, and the contract amount is for 75,554, and this will be coming from the highway equipment reserve.
Just to recap, this is a 10-year-old vehicle. This vehicle is used every single day by the DPW crew. Use it to haul materials to and from sites, project sites, we use it for hauling snow out. When we do asphalt paving, we use it for millings, to collect millings, when we're doing millings of roadways. This vehicle is used every single day. It is a very important vehicle,
Is this a 10-wheeler?
the 10-wheeler, yeah.
I used to drive a 10-wheeler. Really? 10-speed, too.
So, has there been any discussion about what to do with the remaining 10,000 that was budgeted?
Jenny?
We leave that in the reserve.
Is in reserve, right, because it's coming from reserve to begin with, right,
We don't spend it unless we have to.
right.
I like those words. We don't spend it unless we have.
Okay. Okay, so we can move that to the consent agenda as well, and then next is a funding and contract for the Silver Creek culvert
Yes.
underneath, very close to City Hall.
Yes, so
Yeah.
this is the culvert that's out front here on Main Street.
Mhm.
It goes under the buildings across the street and comes under our parking lot
Mhm.
and then on down to the mill race, under all the buildings on South Main. And, we had, if you recall, we did a evaluation of the culverts about 2 or 3 years ago, September 14th, 2024. And it was found that this particular box culvert, I'll call it a box culvert, but it's actually laid up stone with a concrete deck and iron steel beams underneath. It's it's significantly deteriorated, and then in that evaluation, they gave us 2 years to replace it, so we're at the 2-year mark. So it's time to replace, and so we did a request for qualifications, received 3 of them. We reviewed all 3 qualifications, and we determined that Herman Engineering was the most qualified consultant to address this. And so then we negotiated a contract price with Herman to do the design and bidding, and that contract amount is $53,600. And this was also a budgeted item for 2026.
Well, what this is in the capital plan.
Mhm.
So it's in the 5-year capital plan, so we're going to be asking, council to adopt a capital project, for, $1,025,000, $65,000 for the engineering and the construction administration, and then $960,000 for the construction. These numbers will be subject to change once we get the bids in, but for right now, that is our request. This will be funded through our state touring funds through New York State. And so we're asking for the capital project to be approved and for the contract with Herman Engineering to be approved.
Okay.
I have 2 questions about this.
Sure.
One, what will this mean for Main Street closures?
It's gonna be dug up.
So that's gonna be something that will be part
will
of the
be closed.
design. There's gonna be a lengthy discussion about how we're gonna handle detours during that project. It's gonna be quite an impact, and we understand that, so there's gonna be collaboration of businesses, property owners, common council, the design engineer. It's gonna be, we're gonna have to work it out.
Is this gonna be this coming summer?
Not 2026, we're looking at 2027. We
And,
figure we should give Main Street a rest for about a year.
well, yeah, because there were 2 years with closures,
Yes.
you know, the roundabout and that other.
Well, as long as it stays stable.
Yes.
I mean, if it comes to an emergency.
It might be different,
Yeah,
yeah.
we may have to.
Timeline would shift.
Which brings up the second question, this culvert or the stream basically underground also goes under privately owned building and privately owned parking lot upstream. So I don't think they're doing anything. What does that mean if there's a collapse in there?
So, as I understand it, the city is only responsible for the parts of the stream that cross our right of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, Main Street, Ford Avenue, the Walnut, crosses up on Center Street. There's multiple locations where this crosses and is our responsibility. When it crosses private property, that is the private property's responsibility. City Hall here, crosses from City Hall.
That's
or-
what this-
Yeah,
lane
no, I
goes
understand
through
that. What my question was if there's a collapse on the private property, it could cause a backup, and it could flood the mayor's backyard.
Sure.
It goes through Dan's backyard.
If there's a collapse, you know, that is,
What
again,
happens
it's
then?
on the
Yeah.
property owner's, it's the property owner's responsibility. And I think, we would have to have a serious conversation with the property owner if failure occurred.
Because, I actually looked down their manhole one time and it didn't look good. I don't know.
I would assume that a lot of the private portions of that channel are in very similar condition to our portion, so.
Will we be notifying the homeowners of that?
Of their issue, we're not inspecting their issues.
They're well aware of the
Yeah.
problem, because they contacted me about a year ago, and, I looked into it, and it's their problem, but my concern is if we're doing all this work, you know, and they might have a collapse, then the water would back up and flood the mayor's backyard.
Certainly a concern, I agree.
So there's nothing we can do about that.
I would have to talk to Greg about it. I'm not sure what controls we have over that or not.
I don't think we have any control, it's just I'm concerned about it, and I didn't think there was anything we could do, but.
So I had a question about the Main Street closures, that the closure would be between Ford and, would it be a limited portion of the street, correct? Because the main construction would be in front of, like, Wise Guys and,
So there will have to be two types of closures. One that allows semi-trailer traffic and one for local traffic. So semi-trailers cannot make corners like on Ford Avenue.
right,
So there'll have to be a specific detour for semi-trailers and longer type vehicles so that they can navigate. So for semi-trailers, it's gonna be very similar to the, detour that the state had in for the roundabout, or very similar to like our parade routes. We have Main Street closed for parade, so it'd be from Elm Street to probably Chestnut, would be a closure for semi-trailers. Local traffic, we would, you know, minimize it to say Elm Street to, like you said, Ford Avenue.
okay,
But there's gonna, again, there's gonna have to be a long discussion
right,
with all the constituents on
with
it.
those details.
Yes,
Yeah, and it's forthcoming, so it's not for another,
we're a year, at
discussions will
least a
be
year
a
away
year
from
out,
that happening.
okay.
And the closure would be like an entire summer kind of thing.
I haven't talked to the design engineer about construction schedule and how long they anticipate, but it's gonna be very similar to the length of the construction project that took place. We did the box culverts up on Center and Clinton Street 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it was it was 2 years ago, I think, and
It was about 4 months.
yeah, pretty much all the summer.
Yeah. Things to be worked out.
Yeah, right, to be
Well,
continued.
That's why you start early and you get the
Right,
players.
and you get people on board, right,
Yep.
in dialogue, yep. Okay. So, with that, let's see here. It's needed from the,
Contract approval.
that's right, the contract approval for that, okay.
We should, at least alert the entire council about what we've been talking about. I don't know. if we-
With regards to what?
This culvert thing.
Yes, of course,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know, how do you want to do that?
In terms of, I mean,
When it
there,
comes
it will
to-
be on the consent, I think we should move it to the consent agenda. Maybe, what's your thought on that, Scott? I don't think we need to necessarily have a discussion as of yet about the specifics of the project, because those specifics are still being worked out, from what I understand, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just this
What
kind
I
of,
It's
was
just a
thinking-
contract, right?
Right, what I was thinking
Right.
though was alerting the council members about the, potential closure in a year.
Yeah,
Just let them know about that. That's
yeah,
all.
I think, in the review of what we've discussed here, for the council, I could, briefly mention it. But again, it will be on the consent agenda. If they have questions, they can ask. Okay, so, our next is a contract approval for, is it Speedies? Is that how you pronounce it? Is it
Speedies,
Speeds?
yes.
Speeds? Okay.
So this is for inflow infiltration study and engineering report.
Mhm.
So as part of our recent speed renewal, the DEC put in there that we are required to do, we have a requirement to perform an I&I study to determine where all of our excess flow is coming into the wastewater treatment plant. So I think you may have heard me talk about before, the plant sees roughly about 2 million gallons a day on average.
Yeah.
And we have, it's designed for 4 million gallons a day, but when we get a rainstorm, it can go up above 7 to 8 million gallons a day, which is not good because that's wasted energy, it's wasted chemical. So it's extra cost that we're treating, basically clean water that's already clean. We have a requirement to do an I&I study to find out where this excess water is coming from. Typically, it's from, roots growing into the sewer main. A lot of our sewer mains are very old, they're clay tile, they're cracked. It can also come from private residences, roof leaders, from their roof drains. Could be sump pumps in the basement. So there's an evaluation that needs to be done. We applied for a grant from the state, and we received $120,000 to do an I&I study. Just so you know, that this $120,000 will not do a full I&I study of all 40 miles of sanitary sewer main that we have in the city. This is just going to be like a snapshot. We're going to take a look, identify the worst spots, and evaluate those spots. So I just want to be clear that this is only going to get us a portion evaluated of our entire system. Of that $120,000, $5,000 is called force account. Force account is for city staff time, and then $115,000 will go toward the consultant time. So there would be a contract for $115,000. We put out an RFQ, request for qualifications, and we received 4 responses. We reviewed those responses. We conducted full interviews with all 4 consultants, and we decided that Wendell would be the best consultant to perform the I&I study for this particular project. So this is for contract approval with Wendell for $115,000. And again, this is funded through a grant we received from the state. Actually, take that back. $100,000 from the
$100,000
state.
from.
$20,000 would be coming from a local match.
And council's already approved this capital project.
Mhm.
We did that at the time of the grant acceptance,
Mhm.
so this is just to award the account.
Mhm. Okay, just contract approval only. And about the work itself, just to clarify, would this help with detection of leaks? Is that part of the
That is part of
concern?
the-
Because I know that there's still,
The idea is, they're gonna meet with us, they're gonna talk with us about our system, they're gonna evaluate where we have stream crossings, because a lot of times where there's sanitary sewer crossing the stream, a lot of times the stream may be getting into the sewer mains there. They look at large junctions where large amounts of sewer are coming together, so pump stations, location that they may evaluate, they may put in flow monitoring systems to do some flow monitoring of certain locations, and then finally they may do some CCTV, sanitary sewer inspection, TV inspection. So those are all potential ways to evaluate. There are also other things that can be done. There could be dye testing, there could be smoke testing, but that typically isn't done at this beginning phase.
I noticed that I can't remember the name of the street, it's where College Terrace is and then it goes up higher. What's the name of that street?
Overlook Suncrest?
Yeah, that's the one. I've seen your trucks out there regularly and I don't quite know what they're monitoring, but is something going on up there?
Recently?
Not that long ago.
Our trucks or
I think it
somebody
was
else?
I think it was your trucks.
Okay.
not SUNY?
Was there a leak up there or something?
My guys are constantly looking for leaks throughout the city. We have water main leaks that are continually and never ending. So we're always looking for leaks.
That's what I wanted to ask. That's why I wanted to ask if this is obviously gonna be,
But that's
an
water
advantage.
system versus sanitary.
uh-huh,
Usually the issues we have with our sanitary, yes, we have the INI coming into the plant, but that really doesn't generate an issue typically in the sanitary collection system itself. A lot of our sanitary issues are backups, we get clogs in the main, root balls, so that requires our, for sanitary, maintenance. We have to flush some lines that have low slopes, that generally don't flow very well. So that's, if there's sanitary work, that's generally what we're doing. If it's water main work, we're looking for water main leaks typically.
Is this a different portion of window than the Market Street?
This is a completely different, group, same company, different division.
Cause you know, I'm not impressed with this
I know.
company.
The division that did the transit hub is, architectural division. This division is specifically water sewer, and actually they are doing water treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant design right now for some upgrades at those two facilities as well. Same group, same water sewer group.
That seems to be going okay for them.
So far, so good.
Put it out there, you know how I feel about this company, so.
so should we have a broader discussion as a council, given Wendell's
You could-
relationship to the city, or
I
should we
think that
just?
might be all right with it, it's up to you guys.
I'm all right with it too, but,
I mean,
if you think that the council would wanna have a discussion about the use of Wendell, even though there is
Well, they're
some
already doing-
nuance here.
But they're already doing our sewer.
Right.
So if they're already doing the sewer,
It
they
makes
already know
sense.
what's going on.
Right.
So it kinda,
Yep.
I can swallow my pride for a bit.
I think so too.
And also, you gotta remember that bids were analyzed by
Absolutely.
people that were involved.
That's right. Okay, so I have no problem moving that just to the consent agenda. If anybody objects, we can figure it out, but.
As long as Scott's okay with it.
All right, so we can move that item, the Wendell, water, evaluation to the consent, and then we can move to the escrow, agreement for Solstice Commons.
Ginny?
Okay, thank you. We have to make some changes to what's from conversations that we had today.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So as you know, we have hired Delaware Engineering to assist with evaluating the RSS project
Yes.
itself and making sure that it meets all code and all secret and things like that. So, we also had an agreement with RSS to reimburse us for any of those costs, including, any legal costs that we, when our, city attorney gets involved. And, at the time that this narrative was written, we thought the additional cost was gonna be $18,500 plus another $1,500 for legal services.
Right.
However, after talking with Delaware Engineering today, of this 18,500, they've already exhausted 16,000. So they're estimating that they're going to need another 10 to 15,000. And we confirmed with RSS today that they're willing to agree to go up to that amount. So where it says, 50,000, adjusting the contract with RSS for 50,000, we're going to be bringing that up to 65,000.
65, okay.
And then adjusting the Delaware Engineering contract where that says 18,500, we're going to be increasing that to 33,500. And the estimate from Delaware Engineering is 10 to 15,000 more. So I used the 15,000 number, talked with Christine at RSS, and she has agreed to it. Those funds will be sent to me, I'll be holding them in escrow and reimbursing the city as those expenses happen.
And would the city attorney, estimate go up, or does that remain the same?
No, that remains
That's
the same.
1,500, okay.
Yep, because there's different set fees for what he's involved in.
Okay.
So,
So, is this likely to come in budget now, this extra money?
well, I talked very directly with Delaware Engineering today, asking that question, and they said that they do not know how much more time is going to be involved, that's why it's a guess from 10 to 15,000. And, RSS is also aware of that, and what, code enforcement, and Judy are planning on doing with Delaware Engineering is to, they want like the, scope of work for the next phase, because what the next phase is that they're going to be very much involved in is the CESAR process. That's the most important process to get their guidance on for protection of
Does RSS, they been notified of that, you know, it could be even more?
Yes, I talked to Christine today, and she agreed to the additional amount.
No, I'm saying beyond this one, it could go higher.
Oh, she is aware of, you know, that it's always subject to change depending on what transpires.
Mhm.
And they're very supportive of it, and Christine was very complimentary today, saying how wonderful the city staff is, and how great Delaware Engineering is, and how everybody is trying to make sure that everything is done properly, and they're very, very appreciative of, you know, everybody's expertise.
So just a quick question about what the materials we received. So we received a introduction, it was a review, professional services contract. So would the scope of services then be changing?
Yeah, well,
Based on your-
just the dollar amount is gonna be.
Just the dollar amount,
Yeah,
okay.
So, and I'll get that updated by Tuesday for you, really by Friday.
Okay.
Distribution.
Yep. Any questions?
She's not coming home, you're okay.
Oh. Well, no, I mean, just Friday to go out with the agenda.
Although this is not a very complicated part of the bigger project, you know, it's a controversial thing.
The project or the
RSS.
the
whole
Delaware?
thing,
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
So we should update the council, or should we put it on the discussion agenda, or just inform them?
You know, this is really just.
It's a very small piece of the puzzle.
It's about a very small piece.
We voted on this as a
Yeah,
council to do it this way
We did,
anyways.
and I don't think, again, I think if council members have questions, we can certainly,
Right.
you know,
But if
open
you
it up
could-
for discussion, but I think we
If
don't
you could-
necessarily need to put
If
this
you
on
could
the discussion agenda.
mention it and explain that it's going up, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, again, they have access to the you know, changes, so they can see for themselves as well. You know, we can touch upon it in any sort
I
of,
just don't want
Open
any
discussion.
second guessing.
Cause we voted on this, Don, at the request, and did this at the request of the residents of the 6th Ward
Mhm.
to do it this way, and Dave Merzig was on board with this, to do it this way.
So good.
So,
All I'm asking is that the council be
knows
informed.
that it's going on.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I hear you.
And if they thoroughly read these forms, they'll be.
They're well informed,
Right.
absolutely.
Or scratching their heads, one or the other.
But again, you know,
The
I'll
key
say it
word,
again,
if.
they can certainly ask any questions, you know, during the council meeting, so. So if there aren't any more questions, then we can move on to our last item, which is the operating budget, adjustment for a, ladder truck.
Yeah, so the ladder truck was damaged,
Mhm.
accidentally, obviously, during the training and educational service, exercise. It was over on, Southside at the time.
Mhm.
And it damaged the bucket truck, or it damaged the bucket, I should say, not the bucket truck, but the bucket part of the ladder. And, it required, the amount there that you see, $21,442 worth of repairs, which has been funded with insurance recoveries. So we're going to need a budget amendment, increasing the expenditure and then increasing the revenue, to capture the insurance recoveries. This is one time that we're allowed to increase the revenue budget. As I explained to you during the budget process, we're only allowed to increase revenue budgets, for certain items, and this is one of them.
Mhm.
So, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course, please.
So was the total on fixing the bucket 21,000 for,
That was the total
And-
repair cost.
and we don't have a deductible?
They did not charge us the deductible on this item, I don't believe, because our actual insurance recovery was for the exact expense.
Claiming it through insurance, is there a risk that the insurance will go up?
Absolutely.
So would it be better just to pay this out of pocket versus?
No, because our insurance will not go up by 21,000, it would not. And Scott, just so you know, we already have the insurance proceeds because this accident actually happened in '25. And it's taken them this long to repair it.
Yeah. Like early 25?
No, I wanna say fall, it was fall of '25.
It says fall here.
Okay. Any other questions? Scott, did you?
This truck is fall 25, it got hurt in a fire out there too, a little bit before that. same truck that got hurt out in Milford a little bit before.
So, and I've got the detailed bill on my desk, Scott, if you wanna see it.
No, I'm good. I was just curious, like, I mean, in our big budget, 21,000 is not like a huge number for, that's why I was just curious.
They, also, when we do our insurance renewals, we will meet with NYMER on an annual basis. They will go over all of our claims. They will tell us, you know, how it compares to our premiums that we paid, and the increases that happen or not happen. So, you know, it's an annual review, and they look at it in the aggregate. They don't look at it as per incident, because it depends on the circumstance for the claim. But every time we use our insurance, you know, it goes into the assessment for the units.
So you would like us to approve
It's going
a
to-
budget amendment that
yeah.
increases the expenditure for these two?
It increases the expenditure, then it increases the revenue source to
Okay.
pay for the expenditure.
Okay,
That's why it's called a budget amendment instead of a budget transfer.
okay. That's helpful. Just to clarify. I actually did have that question.
What's that?
The difference between an amendment and a transfer
Oh.
here, right?
Yeah,
Why
a
wouldn't it just be a
transfer-
transfer?
Transfer, you're just going from one expenditure.
Right, to
account
another, right.
This one, an amendment, is when you are actually
Adding.
increasing the budget or decreasing the budget, depending on what you decide to do.
Yep.
This one is increasing the budget.
Okay.
Did you get all that, Dave?
Any questions?
understood that too.
Concerns? Comments?
Not about this, but I do have
Quips?
something before we go.
Okay, well, before we get to that, before we kind of finish up, was there anything anything else about the insurance? No, okay, so we can move that to the consent agenda.
And just to confirm, you
Yeah.
did Jay's consent as well, the one prior to.
Yes.
So
Yes.
So
That was the,
that's
that was
Yes.
the Delaware Engineering,
Mhm.
yes, that's correct. Don, did you have a final?
Yeah, I want to ask about OPT. There's some numbers that I'd like to get for the council.
Okay?
And so
The source.
two of them have to do with utility costs.
Okay?
I'd like to know what the utility costs at the new building,
Okay?
and also for a comparable period, what they were at the old site.
That might be hard.
You
since
have to
we don't-
compare
Would you know this, or is this
No,
Ginny?
I don't
This
see-
is
I
Ginny?
don't see
Right,
utilities.
Yes, exactly.
Ginny
Oh,
sees.
Ginny, okay.
And,
'Cause I was thinking.
so what the utilities would be, also, yeah, I'd like to know if there's numbers for departures from the two sites. So how many people got on the bus at the new bus terminal, and how many people in a comparable period got on the bus a year ago?
There's no way to tell that number.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we keep track of.
There's no, the way a bus, let me explain.
Yeah.
The way the ticket is produced and run through the machine, it doesn't know where in the city that person gets on. It just knows that person gets on that bus. We can't tell
Okay.
exactly where that person is.
What about the number of ticket sales at the location?
Is that person using that ticket there, or are they gonna take it and use
If
it
they
at
bought
Southside?
there.
What's that?
I wanna know if they bought it there, that's a question I'm asking you.
There's,
Where did they buy the tickets?
I don't know. We can tell what was bought at the window,
Yeah,
but that's not gonna give you any ridership number, cause that person buy the ticket there
no,
and take the
I'm
ticket
asking-
and go,
I'm asking you, where do people buy the tickets?
they can buy them, they can buy them on the bus, and they can buy them at the window. So most of the people buy the ticket on the bus.
Okay,
So you don't know if they bought the ticket at Suco, Southside Mall, or the Transat.
and you don't keep numbers on how many departures from the terminal?
Well, I can tell you how many buses leave a day, I can't tell you how many people are
That's
on
gonna be
it.
the same,
No, there's no way to tell that number.
okay,
And then also.
fair enough. If
Yeah,
you don't have.
we can give you ridership numbers, total ridership numbers throughout the system on a quarterly basis. We don't have those numbers until the end of the quarter.
And also, just so you know, a lot of people that ride the buses, they will buy passes. So
Right.
they could buy
No, I
a 1-day
understand.
pass, a 7-day pass, a 30-day pass.
No, I
So
understand.
when they get on the bus, they've already got their pass on their person.
Right, I understand.
But as far as picking passengers up, the system that we currently have just doesn't, we're not able to do that. It's all, and the statistics are all kept by hand.
Mhm.
There's no automated.
Right.
I'm working on
type
it.
of purchasing, right?
I'm working on that now.
We
Right.
don't have that yet.
And that probably would provide, the newer systems
Is
would,
that the
pro-
app thing you're talking
I was
But we
just saying,
can
the newer
get-
systems would probably provide you with that kind of
Yes,
data,
they
right?
will.
Yes,
A lot
more
more
granular,
detail,
right,
a
yeah.
lot better detail.
Yeah.
Cause it'll actually, if somebody uses a tap to pay, it's gonna know the location,
yeah, right,
you know?
right.
But we don't have the comps, the comparisons.
Not really, no. The system we have is an older system, it works well,
Right,
Mhm.
but it's an old system.
right.
But we can get.
And getting
the utility
increasingly old,
costs.
right?
Utility
Yeah.
function, I can do that.
Yeah.
So can I just,
And then,
Yeah, yeah,
so I might be getting confused.
Mm-hmm.
Were we also working, is that also what the app thing was too, or was that just to show where the buses were?
That just shows where the bus is.
Okay.
That doesn't tell me who's on it or what's on it, you know, or any of that. It just shows the location of the bus.
Right, I meant like, was I gonna be able, like, you could go in, like, and pay off your phone on the bus?
In the new, yes, so
Okay.
when we do upgrade to different validators, as they're called, on the bus, it's about twice the size of a cell phone. You just go up and you'll tap,
Oh,
and pay.
exciting.
boom, boom. It's gonna eliminate tickets, gonna eliminate cash, it's gonna eliminate a lot of mechanical.
So would people be,
Work.
would people be using their phones, or would they be using credit cards, or
You
it
can do
depends?
either.
Either or.
You can
uh-huh,
use
yeah.
a card, you can use this a stored card.
Yep.
Come inside and we load the card, you give us a credit card and we load it for you and you tap it.
It would be a debit card, right?
Very,
Yeah.
you.